For years, conservatives told me that we need to deport undocumented immigrants such as myself because we don't pay taxes. And then Donald Trump went on TV and said that him not paying taxes made him smart. And they cheered. And then conservatives said that we need to deport undocumented immigrants such as myself because we bring crime. But then they voted for a guy with 34 felonies. And then conservatives said that undocumented immigrants such as myself are a threat to national security because anybody could be coming in. But then the FBI came out and said, actually, the biggest national security threat is white supremacy. And conservatives got mad about it. I'm starting to think that it's not about national security or taxes or crime. I think it's about something else.
Mi gente, somos 10,000 personas aquí viéndole en vivo, mi gente. Gracias a todos por estar compartiendo, por salir de mi nuevo tatú. Gracias. Javi Valdés, gracias por esas rositas, gracias a todos, gracias por dar tapa a la pantalla. Somos 10,000 personas los que estamos aquí. Gracias, ya pasamos más de los 100,000. Gracias, Richard, gracias Richard. ¿Dónde anda Richard? Richard, cáele para acá en la 6 y en la calle 8 y la Central, Richard. Aquí está también Diana Lu, Richard, por si quieres venir para que sigas transmitiendo. Yo me tengo que regresar, Richard. Sigan a Richard. Richard es el número 1 de noticiero de los...
Please help me! Please help me!
Simple $10 sweatshirt. You put the Chanel brand on it. It sells for $5,300.
Well, a massive bust on Long Island involving millions of dollars worth of counterfeit items. Officials recovered more than $40 million worth of merchandise and charged a woman from Smithtown after nearly 18 months of investigating.
Police say undercover buys led to the arrest of this woman, Lindsay Castelli Bullock of Smithtown. She allegedly ran the store, where authorities retrieved at least 22 of these heat-sealing machines for all sorts of counterfeit labels and thousands of soon-to-be fake items for sale. The total in real designer value, eye-popping, more than $40 million.
Because they invest a lot of money, they pay taxes.
So for those looking to shop here at Linny's today, no such luck. And prior customers disgusted. Castelli Bullock facing multiple counts of trademark counterfeiting, a Class E felony, for which she could face up to 3 years in prison.
If you weren't being rude and discriminatory towards what I was wearing, we wouldn't have an issue. That is my job. Leave me alone. Make me leave. So how come we can have there's a store in here that sells clothing like this, but I can't wear it in here?
Any shirt that covers your whole stomach.
Why's that?
Because that's the law.
So where does it say that? Can you show me the law? Can you bring it up?
Go to the center management. It's just common
I'm sure you
courtesy.
can ring them. No, what do you mean common courtesy? You walked straight out of here as soon as you saw me coming up there.
Exactly.
What's your issue?
I can see your stomach.
My stomach.
Yeah.
Is it because you can't show yours?
No, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see it either.
Okay, get out.
She's not wearing a top.
Yeah, I saw you first.
So I can't wear a top, but this lady can.
Well, I saw her after I saw you, and you're a smart, so now you can leave.
No, I'm not gonna.
Leave. I will call the cops.
Call them, please.
Alright. You're gonna get banned.
I don't live here. I don't care.
Alright, we'll just leave. You really want me to call the cops?
Yeah, I want to understand what's wrong with my outfit.
Alright. It's your problem, not mine.
It's clearly yours.
Nope.
Get the f away from me.
This is my job.
Well, get a life then, because me.
Joe Biden will surely go down as one of the worst presidents the U.S. has ever seen. I am so glad that this man's legacy is just 100% trash and ruins. They were playing in our faces before, talking about, you know, they're going to fight for a ceasefire and giving Israel 30 days and this, that, and the other. It was all for show. They literally just voted against Palestinian sovereignty. Israel never does anything without the U.S.'s consent. And so what that means, if you have not figured it out by now, is that the U.S. is one of the most evil countries, if not the most evil in the world. This propaganda about China and Russia is heavily displaced. And so moving forward, Americans, If you want any sort of freedom for the world, if you want any sort of habitable earth in the future for your children and your grandchildren, you are going to be very heavily anti-nationalist. And what that means is that you need to now start holding the United States accountable for basically destroying the planet, destroying other cultures, destroying futures, destroying generations of families. There is really no space in the world anymore for Americans who are hyper-patriotic. Being a patriot for the United States means that you condone mass death, mass unalivement of innocent people, and the destruction of our planet.
Hold up, let me get this right. You forgive him. You forgive Donald Trump. You hold space and grace in your heart for the things he says and the things he does and the person he is. You forgive him. There isn't a soundbite or a testimony that can come out that would make you change the permission you've already given this man to be himself. You forgive him. It could be, it has been, and you forgive him. It could be racist. It has been racist, and you forgive him. It could be some of the most negative and unnecessarily insulting and vile and irresponsible and irrational and unlawful behavior, and you forgive it because you forgive him. And I think you forgive him because I think he excuses you. I think he gives you permission to love the parts of yourself that should and need to change. I think he gives you permission to love the parts of yourself that are hateful and bigoted and oppressive and close-minded. I think he gives you permission to love these things because he is these things. And he is these things loudly and proudly in front of everyone. And if he can do that there, you can do that at your table or in your community, at your kids' soccer games, or in your Walmarts or in your churches. You can too be hateful and bigoted and oppressive and small-minded. He represents you. He represents those things within you, so you forgive him. He hates the same people you hate, not because they're dangerous or bad, but because they look, love, and live different than you. And the fact that he gets to hate them out loud makes you feel so comfortable hating them inside, so you forgive him. And that makes it really hard to forgive you.
I'm going to say something that's going to get some people upset, and I'm okay with that. This is who was employed to run Kamala HQ's TikTok. This was the director for Kamala HQ. And these were the rest of the staff behind Kamala HQ. As someone who's worked in communications, media, marketing for a very long time, most of the biggest brands that you can think of, that's what their social media and marketing teams look like. The disconnect and ultimately disrespect that I find is that Kamala was running off of representation politics. Black woman this, South Asian that. But those demographics of people were only a morsel of the people creating the messaging around her campaign. And I personally believe that that's the reason why the messaging was disjointed. It is something to be said that Black folks are often seen as the innovators of culture, the trendsetters, especially when it comes to social media. But at the helm of directing or driving the ship, we are nowhere to be found. While the concept of being the president remains that you are the president for all people, in the concept of marketing, you still have to identify what your target market is, identify what they want, and focus deeply on delivering it to them. But unfortunately, it seems that when it comes to Black constituents, the only marketing strategy is to get rappers and singers to get on stage and tell us to vote. Imagine that.
Okay, so I need everybody to save and share this. All my people, all my Black people, I need you to save and share this video. I want us, I'm calling for us, for Black people, to enter a long-term boycott of all businesses that are financially backing the destruction of our Black communities. This is not just about Black Friday. This is a long-term activation. We will no longer give our money to people who want us in chains or want us dead and gone. I have a growing list on my website, blackrevolutionarycollective.com. We need to focus our Black dollar in Black businesses only. So that's number one. Next thing, where do we go from here? I spoke a little bit in my last video about meeting in private. I am 100% behind meeting, organizing, and strategizing together, but I am not behind anyone who thinks that going live on these platforms and telling our whole strategy to each other online is a smart idea. It is not. It is not the path that I'm taking this. I want us to organize in private, meetings in person, and private online meetings. So my plan, this part can be public, it's fine. I have an organization called the Black Revolutionary Collective, and on my website, blackrevolutionarycollective.com, there is a email list that you can sign on to, and you'll put your name, you'll put your email, and your city and state. I will take that information and organize everybody into the group. So I'm from Chicago, so everybody that says they're from Chicago or they're located in Chicago, Illinois, will be grouped up to come to in-person meetings in Chicago. And if you're from somewhere else, if you're from Gary, Indiana, then I will group you up with like-minded individuals in Gary, Indiana, and so forth and so on. If you're in Detroit, Michigan, I will group you up. I will do that work because I do believe we need to be meeting in person. We still need to have an online meeting, but we can make those meetings private as well. What I want to do is have in-person meetings and simultaneously have online meetings, but they will be private. But we cannot strategize publicly. That's just not how this work gets done. This is about us, and it needs to stay about us. Our unity is the only thing that will save us, and don't let anybody deter you from that fact. Now, when we talk about buying black, we're talking about helping each other in this capitalist society. But also what we need to be thinking about is saving money as well. That's why you don't involve yourself in things like Black Friday, that, by the way, have association to slavery. That's where the name came from, by the way. Anyway, you don't need to concern yourself with all of these materialistic things. The reason why you need those name brand clothes, bags, and jewelry is because you have an oppressive mindset. The reason you want what they have is because they have told you over and over again that that is how you are to be accepted into their society. You don't need to be accepted into white America. You need to accept your blackness and love your blackness and love your people and love what your people create. We have all the tools to manifest, rebuild our communities. We have all the tools to protect what we build. All we need to do is combine forces and become a focused instrument for good for our people. And when we do that, there is absolutely nothing we can't do together. I will never give up on my people. I will never believe that we can't. I will never stop. If you are a like-minded individual, I encourage you to reach out to me. You can also email me directly at info@blackrevolutionarycollective.com. You can also DM me on TikTok and give me your email and your name and your city and state, so we can start grouping up for these meetings. I'm ready to do this right now today. So help me organize us. We'll organize these lists, and we need to start meeting up as soon as possible. We can do this. There's always going to be negativity against unity because they know that our unity is the end of their oppression over our black people. I will still be a force of knowledge on this platform. The only thing I will not discuss on this platform is strategy. Also, some of you may know that I'm a touring singer-songwriter, so I also plan on using my touring schedule to have pop-up meetings in different cities and states across America. So look forward to that. In Chicago, we will be meeting on the south and west side. I'm looking for locations for the south and west side to have meetings. So if you're from Chicago and you're from the south or west side, please reach out to me. If you have a black-owned business and you have an actual location where you would open it up to have meetings at, please let me know. I don't care what city or state you're from. We need all the help we can get on where we can meet up. Knowledge is power. Power to the people.
So as a black man that cares, this is the part that I choose to focus on, because I've seen a lot of black women go on social media stating that they still stand with Kamala, that this is a great injustice, the votes need to be recounted, They say that a lot of things went wrong, and specifically more so on the side of black men, for them not coming through and voting enough for her due to the aspect of her, quote unquote, being a black woman and a woman that was going to be leading the nation. And that was the same thing that people wanted to spun around, however you want to say it. So now you have this beautiful black woman. She came through and stated that this is Kamala Harris's campaign. These are the people who were behind putting a lot of information and things out there. And she was clearly pointing out to black women, how many of these people are reflective of you? And the thing that I'm asking black women at this moment in time, because again, you still have black women crashing out, stating that they're going to stay abstinent and do all of these things, which are great. I have no problem with those things. But do those things more so for you and not for somebody else. This is my question to those black women out there, or the ones that feel that they were cheated out of this election, or the ones that feel that black men are to blame and yada. If Kamala really thinks that she is a black woman, if she feels this, if she really loves all of you guys, then why is it that she didn't make it her job and her goal to make sure that the greater majority of the people in her campaign were educated, intelligent black women who are going to make sure that she and them, or they, will prevail in that election? Why is it that Kamala didn't decide to employ a lot of the beautiful, educated black women who are coming out of HBCUs and many other colleges? Why is that? Why didn't she get the quote unquote black women that are reflective of her, or better yet, reflective of you, in order to push and make sure that she would win this election and that she would be in the office when January comes up? That's the only question that I have. Why crash out for somebody who obviously did not care enough about you in order to even employ you when it detailed them winning an election? And also, why crash out over somebody who is quote unquote reflective of you, but at the same exact time, they're not crashing out over you? That's all I'm saying. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.